What's good, gente? It's your boy Conejo, ya saben, man. So pretty much, man, it's been a minute since I actually done a video like this. So I apologize, brother, but I've been fucking busy and I've been dealing with a little couple things. But pretty much on this video, we're gonna be talking about and profiling certain streets and what's on, right? And I know people are like, God damn, that little ass town has hella neighborhoods. These streets, even though they were a lot of members actually claim them streets, and you'll actually see them blasted with it. At least some individuals, right? You start seeing them tatted up with a certain street. But technically, they were all considered Davianos. But at one point, they actually ran them streets where other Sureños and certain people actually knew that those areas right there, they wouldn't call them by Davianos. They would actually call them by the actual street. You know what I mean? And a lot of them ended up getting jumped into certain neighborhoods. One of the neighborhoods that took a lot of the members was Chicos. And it's because a certain homie had to go hit them up, jam them up, and kind of shut them down in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? Um, but let's speak on them, right? So pretty much, let's start with Magnolia. Magnolia's it's a street that's pretty much located right there by Green Valley, and it had a lot of homies right there by Rolling Hills and stuff, right? For the people that are from the area, they know what I'm talking about. But for the other individuals and my subscribers, pretty much it was an area that had a lot of Chicanos and a lot of homies that grew up together, and they were all pretty much like the same age. Um, and they happened to have a house or something that family members would allow them to just kick it. So a lot of homies would always be posted right there. And since certain streets and like the names, they catch attention, you know what I mean? Like they like the name Magnolia. And a lot of homies would be deep right there. And like Sureños knew, and certain individuals knew that they couldn't pass through those streets without getting jammed up by them individuals, right? So pretty much, they were recognized like as hoods by some individuals. Some people even thought that they were neighborhoods. Like I said, they did get shut down eventually. Or eventually some of them members got jumped into certain hoods. Like I know Magnolia, either they went to Green Valley or to Chicos. You know what I mean? Because them two neighborhoods kind of get along pretty good. There's certain hoods or certain individuals that try to claim that glory. Like, oh, they pretty much created them hoods. But I mean, speaking to some people that are pretty much around the same age, they don't say the same, and it is what it is. That's not. I don't really care to be quite honest. Another street would be Carnation. Carnation was pretty much located right there by Landis. A couple streets down. It's right there on Freedom and I want to say Freedom on Green Valley. Um, a lot of them homies from right there, they were hella thick, bro. And it was just a group of homies that would kick it, homie, and blaze it. And like I said, homie, they happened to live in an area where a lot of homies were located, right? And like I said, most of them individuals were pretty much all the same age. So being that they're the same age and they know each other from school and shit like that, well, they tend to like you know what I mean, kick it, homie, and have a tight bond. And being that they were considered norteños or ands or whatever, and them personally, right? Because a lot of the homies from like Carnation, they didn't really bang WVN, right? Even though they were WVNers, they didn't really bang WVN. They would actually say Carnation, right? Like they actually try to bang that was their actual hood. And shout outs to that street, homie, and to most of those homies from that neighborhood, right? Because homies that were from that neighborhood ended up getting jumped into Chicos, or Landis. You know what I mean? When the whole Landis thing became Northside Landis, and pretty much going under the wing from like with the Chicos and shit. So that was another area, right? That the Sureños knew that homies were thick, homie. Well, pretty much not to like talk or brag or like trying to boast for like the Norteños, right? Because they probably don't even want me to speak on shit like that. They're probably like shut the hell up, right? But if we really pay attention, right? A lot of Watson, bro, and not just that those certain streets that I'm naming. Tepid to have a lot of homies. Watsonville is like a norteño area, homie. Even though I'm probably gonna have some sureños in the thing, like hey, Porsche like this and all this. Hey, shout outs to the sureños, homie. You know what I'm saying? they have streets like them too, and I might speak on them, but people might say that those are poor sliders hoods and just go on like that. So I might just leave that for another video. Um, so pretty much after Carnation, what other street? They had Pembroke by Pennsylvania. This one happened to be pretty much by where my hood's at, right there by Clifford and shit. And pretty much with the whole being right next to the hood, it didn't really last that long. But shout outs to them homies, right? Because I have a lot of homies that are from that hood, like my boy Pelon. Some that I don't even fucking like no more. You know what I mean? But it's because they done did some stupid shit. But it is what it is. Pretty much they all lived like it was one homie, and it was like a family. You know what I mean? But they happened to live right there, right on the corner, homie, right there by Starlight and shit, and Cesar Chavez. So they were located like in a good area, homie. And there and people that know this, like my where my hood's at, like Clifford and Pennsylvania. This whole little area is pretty much apartments, bro. So happened to be that it's in a, I wouldn't say, people are gonna be like, man, it's not the ghetto, homie. It's not the ghetto. It's just it's low income. You know what I mean? So it happens to have a lot of raza and ghetto boys. You know that they're just straight hood with it, homie. How some people would say it, right? But in Watson, they're gonna be like, man, we're just cholos, and so pretty much they were all choloed out, and they didn't really want to bang the whole WVN, right? Even though, like I said, they were all WVNers, homie, but they had a plan that they think that it went out, but it already died out. Like I'm gonna probably some fools in the comments like, hey bro, there's not that many fools banging pimp block no more, right? It's only gonna be fools like your age and shit like that. Well, yeah, bro, it's because when it was popping, right, and they had a group of members, it wasn't that many of them, bro, you know, but they were thick right there, you know, and a lot of them fools that were pimp block ended up getting jumped into either to my hood because I know like Güero, Drowsy, Grumpy, all them fools used to kick it right there with the pen blockers. You know what I mean? But they ended up becoming from Clifford because there was issues, homie. Just being fact that they're so close to each other that wasn't gonna work out. You know, so that ended up getting shut down. What other streets, bro? Can it be considerable? Rodriguez too. Before it actually became a hood, that was actually another area that was pretty much, well, not Davian or Northside, right? Because they had hella homies. I had the homie Chiquito that lived right there on the corner too. So they were city haulers. But it happened to always have homies, right? It always had homies. Once you pass like pretty much the discount mall down was pretty much Sureños, homie, and pretty much being right there like where the bus stop and all that with all that stuff's at for the bus. From right there, that little area was Sureños, you know, and going from like all Rodriguez, all them streets was pretty much homie. So I was like where the line was divided, I guess, in some type of way. And certain homies from WVN that that are in that area ended up making an actual hood with time, you know. But it happened. It's funny though, you know. I actually trip out now how shit's changed and how it went from just being little areas where homies used to just kick it, bro. You know what I mean? And be cool, stoners and shit like that. Just happened to be that we liked a certain color, homie. As you can see, I'm wearing blue today, but you can see the backgrounds. They're gonna be like, man, this fool's all norteño out. What the fuck? I'm wearing blue, homie. Today was actually a blue day and shit. But I actually trip out though, man. Like I was saying, how people go from just like little regular friendships ended up becoming to a whole different thing. Like at the end, people over here gang banging and going a little too extreme, you know. And then it hits the political shit, and then the fools can't fuck with certain people, and it just becomes all bad. Um, I know. So I had a person yesterday on my life that was talking about pretty much why can't I be a little bit more positive, and I explained it to him on that live, and it's not that we glorify or we give respect to like the gang life, right? Because some people take it that way. Nah, bro, that's not the route we're here. But we are acknowledging some of the shit that they did in the past, and for that one individual, right? Pretty much, we will try to like do a couple things so that it can actually look a little better, homie, and I don't make it seem like it was just hella cool what they're doing, you know, because in our reality, it's not cool. You know, some of the shit that the people do, it's not cool. But I understand that That's not what it was meant, homie. And a lot of those hoods and areas, they became from certain neighborhoods, right? But even though they became from certain hoods, they're still good people, you know. But yeah, man. I don't want to get off subject. Let's get back to that. So pretty much what it looks like. I can actually, what I'll do on not this next video, because this next video I'm actually breaking my head a little bit, because I'm trying to include a little bit of everything in the Santa Cruz video that I got coming up. Um, so, but I probably will be doing a video on, like, cause I was explaining a little bit more into what I should have done for another video. You know what I mean, about like how the recruiting begins, like on certain hoods and shit like that. You know what I mean? Because they claim certain areas and they tend to pull from those little areas. But I noticed that this video, before I start talking about other stuff and shit like that, I did acknowledge three little streets, but I could continue going on, right? I can continue going on, like on Jefferson, Lincoln, uh, Maple, uh, right there on Riverside. You know what I mean? I can keep naming certain streets, homie, but and all these streets type of have hella homies. But I'll end up talking about how the recruiting like recruiting ground kind of happens. You know what I mean? Like growing up in certain areas, you already know what hood you're gonna be from, or you're kind of already choosing what kind of hood you're gonna be from. You know what I mean? Depending on what area you live in, or you're growing up in. You know, going in what elementary, what middle school, and shit like that, man. I'll make a video on that. But pretty much, so I can continue. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna cut it off right here. So I kind of hope you guys like the video, bro. If you guys don't, make sure to leave a comment, homie. Hey, letting me know, hey, homie, this is not the type of videos we want to hear. But this was a profile on them. I guess them three streets, since those were the main streets that I was referring to, which was pretty much Carnation, Magnolia, and Pembroke. You know what I mean? So that pretty much say that this was a profile on them, and talked about how they where certain little areas were established, and they did put in work, homie. I'll give them that. They put in work, homie, or else I wouldn't be speaking on them. There will be other streets that people will mention, you know, 'cause someone did mention one on my live yesterday, and it's just not clicking, to be quite real. But yeah, there will be more streets, homie. So if I did miss a street, homie, make sure to just drop a comment, homie, to remind me that, hey, homie, even though you're from Watson, homie, how can you forget? Tell me shit, homie. It's all good, you know. So I hope you guys like this video, homie. So make sure to put a thumbs up if you did. If you didn't, man, homie, the thumbs down. It's all good at the end of the day. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't, homie, especially if you're a new viewer. There might be a video you might not like, homie, so I apologize on those, but I hope you like the content, homie. And yeah, man, I will continue to drop some more videos. And with all that being said, man, it's your boy Conejo, and I'm out.